Hi, my name is Dayton, and I'm a nurse at Children's Home Care of Dayton. Today I'm going to show you how to use your MOOG Infinity enteral pump. You will be provided with an enteral pump and charging cord, a 30-day supply of enteral feeding bags, and a backpack. Other supplies will be based on what is ordered. For the setup, you will need the pump with a charged battery or plugged in, an enteral feeding bag, and formula or other fluids for feeding. Before starting, clean your hands thoroughly with soap and water or hand sanitizer. Open the door to the pump by gently pressing on both sides of the tab and push to release the tab. Place the stretchy tubing around the black wheel and pull gently to the side until the plastic cassette drops into place. The flat side of the cassette is up. Close the door. Open the top of the bag and pour the feeding in. Your nurse will instruct you on how much formula is needed for feeding. It will require an extra 20 milliliters to prime the tubing. If the feeding bag will be in the backpack or possibly turned onto its side, squeeze the bag until the feeding is visible around the top rim to get the air out, then replace the lid of the bag. Turn the pump on by pressing and holding the on-off button until it beeps. The pump will then cycle through a self-check. Place the bag in the backpack provided and make sure the bag is in an upright position. After the self-check is complete, remove the cap at the end of the tubing. Press and hold the prime button to advance the feeding through the tubing until it reaches the end. Do not prime the tubing when it is connected to your child. Once the feeding is primed through the tubing, replace the cap on the end of the tubing. Now it's time to set the pump. Press the Rate Dose button until the rate is at the bottom of the screen. This will be how fast the feeding will go in. To change the rate, press the plus or minus button. Your nurse will help you set the correct rate. Next, press the Rate Dose button again until dose is at the bottom of the screen. This is how much feeding your child will receive. To change the dose, press the plus or minus button. Your nurse will help you set the correct dose. Once the rate and dose are set, they will remain the same unless manually changed. After the dose and rate are set, it is time to start the feeding. Remove the cap from the end of the tubing and connect the tubing to your child's feeding tube with gentle twisting. Do not tighten it too tight as it could break the tube. Start the pump by pressing the Run Pause button. When the feeding is complete, the pump will read Dose Done. Turn off the pump by pressing the On-Off button. Disconnect the tubing from your child's feeding tube and rinse your child's feeding tube with 5 to 10 milliliters of water. You can remove the bag from the backpack for cleaning. Rinse the bag thoroughly with water, then clean the tubing by priming water through the tubing if the feeding bag will be used again. Before the next feeding, make sure to prime the bag with formula again. The feeding bags are good for 24 hours, then a new one must be used. If providing continuous feeding, formula is only good for 4 hours at room temperature. please refer to the manual for troubleshooting the pump. If the manual still does not answer your question, please call us at 937-641-4663. If it is after hours, the weekend, or holidays, the number will send you to the hospital operator. Please ask for the home care nurse on call. Thank you for choosing Dayton Children's Hospital.